through. My name is Leonard Thomas. I have been selling homes for over 33 years, probably helped close to 1,500 families buy, sell, lease, and invest in real estate. Good morning, Matthew. And my real estate channel is a little different than a lot of real estate social media videos in that I'm not looking for buyers and sellers. I've been training agents for almost 3 decades, and I started doing videos about 6 or 7 weeks ago. And what I'm doing is trying to help other agents for almost 3 decades. And I started doing videos about 6 or 7 weeks ago. And what I'm doing is trying to help other agents scale their business, learn from the mistakes I've made. So if you're watching this morning, hope you had a great weekend. Hi, Kelsey. Hello, world. Yusuf, Angel, and Olive. If you're in real estate and watching us this morning, thanks so much for joining. Please just ask your questions down in the comments. And if you're not in real estate, but you're watching just because you're curious about real estate, hi, Manish and Larry. Please feel free to ask any questions about buying homes, selling homes, open houses, negotiations. Hi, Too Easy. Hi, Key. Hi, Vengan. So if you have any questions this morning, this is a Ask Me Anything. I've been doing this for over 33 years. I'm happy to try to help you move pegs forwards anywhere in your business you may feel you're falling short. Comments. Chantil is having trouble finding buyers. Thanks so much for the question, Chantil, and I'm sorry about that. What market are you in? Atlanta, Georgia, big market. So not sure how long you've had your license, but I would say one of my favorite ways for a realtor to run into people that need home buying and home selling services is about a year. Fantastic. So I hope you're doing lots of open houses because Atlanta, Georgia is a humongous metroplex. You know, millions of people, lots of homes, lots of subdivisions. And I would say one of the best ways you could probably meet home buyers and home sellers is through open houses. I've been doing open houses for decades. I love open houses. If anyone watching doesn't follow my channel, please do. If you're a realtor and you want information on how to meet more people and how to satisfy the wants and needs of home buyers and home selling clients. But Chantil, I'm a big fan of open houses. If you haven't seen my videos on how to do successful open houses, please check out the channel a little bit or follow for more videos. But I hope you're doing that. I hope you're doing open houses every Saturday or Sunday. So what's in your listing presentation package? That's a really, really good question. So some people use binders, some use folders. I use a folder. And on the left side of the folder, I do a bunch of the paperwork, the listing agreement, the information about brokerage services, market analysis if necessary, the tax printout. If they were on the market before, I put the MLS printout. So I put a bunch of the MLS printout information on the left, and I do mostly my marketing on the right. But you want to make sure that not only do you bring your listing presentation and everything that belongs to it, you want to make sure you bring a financial calculator and examples of your marketing. So I'd say start there. My loan is approved pending. Hi, Alma. Good morning. Pending appraisal. Is that good news? California new build. So, Alma, I'm in Texas. I'm originally from California, but that was 100 million years ago. So, out in Texas for sure. And I'm guessing it's going to be the same out there. Your loan is approved, which means all of your documents have been sent to underwriting. The underwriter has said your loan is good to go. Which here in Texas, two things have to go well with the loan. The loan has to be approved, and the property has to be approved. And the property getting approved means if it's a conventional loan, just that it appraised. So I imagine that the last step in you being able to close on the home is that the appraisal comes back for at least the price of the sales price in the contract. Good morning, John. Alma, did I get your question? Oh, and Chantil, you don't have any listings. That's okay. You're in Atlanta. There are tons of big companies. I don't know what company you're with, but it doesn't have to be your own listing. You can hold anyone's listing open. It doesn't even have to be in your office. It's usually better if it's in your office, but you can hold anyone's listing open, whether it's your company or not. Now, if it's not with your company, you definitely want to go talk to your broker manager and talk about the good, bad, ugly, and all the rules. I say rules, the best way to approach another agent about their listing. But it's okay if you don't have any listings. You can find a listing to hold open. Yes, thank you. This whole is so nerve-wracking. It definitely is, especially out in California. Lots of rules, lots of contracts are definitely longer out there than they are here in Texas. User says, started real estate 2 months ago, learning so much with the brokerage. I'm 20 and any advice? Absolutely fantastic. First of all, have a real profile on TikTok. Start reaching out to your sphere of influence. Have the people that you want to help buy and sell real estate have a social media profile that they can go to and start seeing the content that you put on social media. Two, I love what you said about learning so much. The most three very, very important things when you first get into real estate. You want to learn everything possible. I was just a year older than you, 21 years old when I got into real estate. 33 years ago. I'll be 54 this year. And I wanted to learn everything about everything. I wanted to learn about inspections, air conditionings, foundations, roofs, title policies, title commitments, how the loan process worked, what a 1003 was, how appraisals worked. So every day you want to learn as much as you can so that you really want to strive to be the smartest person in the room. Now, spoiler alert, I've been doing this 33 years and I'm never the smartest person in the room, but I think it's a good goal to have because that keeps you pushing to learn more and more every single day. So that's really important. The second thing, what market are you in, user 592? In Southern California. I'm with a team that's huge on social media. Okay, fantastic. So I imagine they have a lot of leads that come from their social media. So if you're not holding open houses or getting leads from them, um, obviously what you want to do is run into as many people home buying and home selling as possible. Start working on your sphere of influence. Start creating massive value to these people. And like you already correctly said above, make sure you're learning every single day. Look at my courses currently. Good morning, Juan. Working as a home. Okay, so Juan, I think that's a fantastic way. So, you're at a custom home builder, and do you work in, for example, their model home, and you talk to buyers coming in? And Princess Eyes, you're looking to buy. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Good morning, Squalls. Because if you're working on getting your real estate license, Juan, and you're working like in a model home right now, I think that's just an absolutely fantastic way to run into home buyers and home sellers and really work on creating value for people that are looking to buy a home, and they're coming to you. So that's sort of like, I mean, it's an open house if you're working at a model home. So I think that's absolutely fantastic. So Princess Eyes, you're looking to buy a home. If you want to let me know what market you're in, I can try to give you more specific advice. Are you already working with a realtor? In Texas, I'm in Dallas. Which part of Texas are you looking for? If you're in Dallas, I can give you really specific information. If it's somewhere else, I'll talk 30,000 feet. Dallas as well. Okay. Dallas, when people say Dallas, it's a huge, obviously, metroplex. Is there a specific suburb you're looking for? North Dallas, west, east, south, Fort Worth? Good morning, Storm Shadow. Rent in North Dallas, looking at home in Corinth and Prairie Ridge. Well, Corinth to North Dallas. So you're looking to get up north a little bit. So Corinth is a fantastic area up there, Little Elm, Providence Village. I've been doing this for 33 plus years. And when I first got in the business, Frisco was farmland. Plano only went certain area north. Corinth was obviously all farmland. And then over the last 10, 15 years, Frisco starts getting built out. Then everyone moved up to Prosper to start building homes. And then Corinth, Salina, Providence Village, all these areas. So you can definitely get more bang for your buck up that direction. And even then, it's starting to get built out a whole bunch, but that's a pretty long haul from North Dallas. Are you working with an agent already? That took us to see the Corinth homes. Fantastic. So so I am not giving you any real estate advice. You have an agent, so get all the information from them. So I will just talk generally right now across the board in the Dallas area. The cool thing about home builders is, homes are sitting a little bit longer. And so a lot of home builders are giving a lot of incentives to buy their home. So just make sure you and your agent, and I'm sure your agent's doing a fantastic job doing this, make sure you figure out all the incentives that the builder is offering. Generally, as we get close to the end of the school year, things are going to get even busier. More people are looking to buy because they want to move in between the two school years. How many buyers do I need to work with to make 70,000 as a buyer's agent? Trick question, Squalls. If you are in a small area in the middle of the United States where the average sale is $300,000, that's a lot of buyers. If you're in Southern California where the average home sale might be 2.5, 3.5 million, not as many. So, Squalls, what market are you in? New York. Okay, well, it could be condos in upstate or smaller houses upstate. It could be in the middle of New York City where it's super expensive. It's super easy to figure out. You figure out, so you take $70,000, you figure out what the average sale is in your area. For example, let's say the average sale in your 2 hours north of NYC. Okay, perfect. So to answer your question, it's just math, which is good news. Good morning, Grizz Loan Officer. It's just math. So you take whatever the average sales price in your market is. Let's say it's 300,000. You take what the average commission is in your marketplace. I don't know what it is. Let's pretend it's 3%. So the average commission to sell a home in your market, let's say if it's 300,000 house, 3% commission, it's $9,000. I don't know what your split is with your team leader or your brokerage. Let's pretend it's an 80% split. 80% of $9,000 is $7,200, which means to make $70,000, you would have to sell 10 homes. But that's based on the variables that I just guessed. How can I get leads in a seller's market other than paying big dollars to Zillow for leads? So you are in a seller's market. You have so the listing inventory in your market is small, but you have a lot of buyers looking. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that would be not the norm across the board. Yes, wow. Okay, so do you have expired listings? Do you have canceled listings in your market? Do you have people selling their home on their own for sale by owners in your market? Say yes, please. Hi, Nadia. For everyone just joining, I am waiting for school. Not much of that. So, so it's a seller's market. Not a lot of people selling to begin with. How do you get seller leads? I guess to get listings, you have to connect, and I'm going to be commonsensical for a minute, but then I'm going to try to get clever for you. To get listings, you have to connect with people wanting to sell their home. To connect with people wanting to sell their home, you have to create value for people that may want to sell their home. So you have to figure out, hi, Sandy, you have to figure out what value you can bring to people that are not on the market, but may be interested in selling their home. And I think obviously, based on the other answers you gave me, it's pretty obvious what value you could bring, getting a really, really, really top dollar for their home in one of the rarer or at least uncommon markets in the United States right now where it's a seller's market. I'm in Dallas. It's definitely more of a buyer's market than a seller's market. We have this many sellers. We have this many buyers. So we have that imbalance. If you're in a market where there's a lot more buyers than there are sellers, what you really want to do is go reach out to people that in areas that have a high turnover of homes that come on the market, sell very quickly, which in your market may be every neighborhood because it's a seller's market. And if I was you, I don't know what your age or how long you've been in the business, but go knock on doors and have a market analysis for how fast. I assume homes sell very, very quickly in your market if it's a seller's market. And you can go door to door and say, hey, this home, how do you get sod? I'll try to answer that in a moment. I'll help. I need a little bit of help remembering your question though. So back to Squall. So figure out how quickly what the average days on the market is in your market. I assume it's a very, very low number because you're in a seller's market, and figure out maybe perhaps the average sales price to list price ratio, because I'm going to guess, and I could be wrong. I'm married, which means I'm wrong all the time. I could be wrong about this, but I'm going to guess that if you are in a seller's market, the sales price is often over the list price. I hope I'm right. And if not, I hope that the sales price is at least extremely close to the list price. The sales price is extremely close to the list price. So squalls 99% minimum. Good. So, all right, I was right this time, accidentally. Blind squirrel finds a nut. So what you want to do is have some sort of nice, maybe one-page presentation with your information at the bottom and maybe a chart. Get with your local escrow company or title company, or just get on Fiverr and find someone who's good at Adobe Illustrator or Canva or something, and have a nice little chart that says in the last 90 days, the average in whatever, fill in your city name here, the average home was only on the market in some extremely low number, and the average sales price compared to list price was 101, 100, 200, whatever the percentage is, and you can just go door to door and introduce yourself. My name is Squall's not my real name, it's my stage name. My name is, John Smith with XYZ Realty, and just want to take a quick minute of your time and give you this and let you know that this market is crazy. And despite the rest of the United States being mostly a buyer's market, it's actually a seller's market here. And insert your city name here. And homes are selling within X days. And there's, as you can see from the sheet that I gave you, and they're generally selling at 102%. 102% sales price to list price. So I don't know if you have considered selling, but it's an incredible time to sell, or if you know if anyone else thinking of selling, but I just wanted to give you this information. Hope you have a great day. And you do that, for 3 hours a day, and you're going to have conversations, and you're going to run into people who didn't know that homes were still selling for over asking price in a matter of days. So I hope that helps, Squall. Sud, how do you get and Quack, my friend from San Jose, who refused to hold an open house this weekend despite getting 30 to 40. I'm sorry, I don't want to pick on you. Good morning, Quack. Hope you're having it's hustle is good. I'm going to say, don't call it hustle, call it hard work. And it's not about hard work. It's about creating massive value for people thinking of buying or selling a home. So I want you to look at it that way, Squalls. And so someone asked, how do I get into high luxury buyers? I think the two ways that you could do it. One of them is going to be, they're both sort of commonsensical, but this would be my game plan if I was trying to get into the high-end buyer market. I assume you're in a market that has high-end listings and high-end buyers. So the first thing you have to do is you have to have some value proposition for a high-end buyer. You have to have something beyond what the average realtor would do for any buyer, which is put their search criteria in the multiple listing service, set them up on an auto email, and then show them homes. Every realtor is going to do that. That doesn't create any extra value for any home buyer, let alone a home buyer looking to buy whatever luxury is in your area, 1 million, 5 million, 25 million. Unless you're in Southern California, you may have to be looking at 35 million for it to be considered luxury. I don't know. But most importantly, you have to have a set of services that you provide that is over and beyond what they're going to find calling any other realtor. So that's step one. And then how do you run into these buyers at high-end luxury open houses? So I don't know if you have luxury listings, if your office has luxury listings. If they don't, as I said to someone who was watching the live earlier, it doesn't have to be your listing. It doesn't have to be a listing in your office. I have held open houses 1,000 years ago, early in my career. I have held houses open that weren't even listings of my real estate company. So then once you have services and skills and knowledge to talk and create value with a luxury home buyer, then you have to run into these luxury home buyers. And I think a great way to do that, obviously, is at expensive open houses. That's a fair question, Quack. What values do I use that position? Okay, no. I was trying to figure out the wording. Okay. Here, I think, is the most important, not skill, not service, but I'm going to use your word. The most important value that I think, if you asked the majority of clients that I've had in my 33 years, is this. And it's going to sound cliche, but I've met probably thousands of realtors in my 33 years. And maybe, good morning, Nita from Oklahoma. Good to see you again. This is, I think, the most important. And it's from line 1 of Article 1 of the Real Estate Code of Ethics. Put the interest of your client ahead of your own. So Everything I do is about putting the interest of my client ahead of my own. I often joke with my clients that I will talk you out of way more homes. That first of all, I'll never try to talk you into a home, but I will definitely try to talk you out of lots and lots and lots of homes. And I can't tell you how many email exchange, phone conversation exchanges, text exchanges I have with clients. Um, where there's like I'm so appreciative of your services. I'm so glad I met you. I've bought and sold homes before, and you're like one of the you're the only realtor that's ever tried to talk me out of a home. And so I really care about the client's resale value when they're buying a home. I look at the resale. If it's a 4 bedroom and it only has 2 bathrooms in my market, that's sort of a tough resale issue. And if it's close to a if it's close to a major thoroughfare, if it backs to a train track, I had a client this weekend send me a listing via email and said, "What do you think of this one?" And it was literally, in 33 years of doing this, it was the worst location I'd ever seen. It was close to the Dallas Fort Worth airport, third busiest airport in the world, second busiest airport in the United States. It was one house away from a railroad. It was backing to, it wasn't a junk, it wasn't like a city dump, but it was a commercial, not even commercial, sort of industrial, sort of, there was trash. You could see from Google Maps, a lot of trash. It was a one road subdivision where they were building brand new homes, but that one road teed into a street where on the other side of the street was all industrial property, where 18 wheelers and freight trucks and all that were going to be driving up and down. At the end of this one road, and there probably can only be 15 houses on this road, at the end of this road, 50 yards to the east was an elementary school and the pickup line. 50 yards to the west was a future DART station. So as far as location, it was the absolute worst. And I said, I don't even want to show you this. I literally said in the email, I said I would, and it was expensive. It was almost $1.2 million. And I said in the email, I would rather you go to Vegas, put the $1.2 million on red or black, and if you double it, then we go buy a bigger house. If you lose it all, you move in with me. It's a better bet than buying this house.